Hello, I'm Nick from Quit with Nick, hypnotherapist and stop smoking specialist. I wanted to share with you 7 key things you need to know, or you could say 7 key questions you need to ask if you are considering doing hypnotherapy to stop smoking. Whether it's cigarettes or vapes, it's equally effective or can be. Now, you need to know this because if you're planning on doing hypnosis either for the first time or trying it again, you want to make sure that you have the best likelihood of getting the success, right? Obviously, there's no guarantee at all that a quit smoking aid is going to work for you. But what you can do is some research to increase the chances and stack the odds in your favor that it is going to work for you and it is going to be successful. So please watch this to the end because I've been in this industry for a long time and I know what you need to know. So the first thing is to ask, is it a program or just a session? There's a very big difference. Now, hypnotherapy is powerful and it can be a very powerful process to instantly change the way you feel about doing any kind of smoking. However, it has to be embedded in a process, not just a session. Sometimes people will email me or contact me and say, how much for a session? And the first thing I say is this isn't just a walk-in, walk-out session, it's a program. It's a holistic process. Make sure you look for that. So there's something at the start, something in the middle, something at the end. It's a journey, not just a session. So that's the first thing. Be sure you find a process and a program, not just walk in, walk out. Number 2, ask, is there any preparation? Now, believe it or not, successful hypnosis is all about the preparation and the lead up. Believe it or not, what happens prior to the hypnosis, before you sit in the chair or lie on a table, the preparation is crucial. And the reason why is because your conscious mind doesn't go anywhere during a hypnosis session, a process. So the conscious mind needs to be thoroughly prepared. Otherwise, it's going to be the exact thing that stands in the way of you getting the result. Conscious mind needs to be prepared. So make sure there is a very thorough preparation process. Make sure the therapist gets to know you, asks you some good questions, finds out things about you that could stand in the way of the result. So preparation is absolutely crucial. Number 3, ask about follow-up. What's your follow-up process? Are you even going to follow up with me? I would say at least 98% of the people I've spoken to who have tried hypnosis, when I ask them, did the therapist even bother to follow up with you after the session? The answer is no. And the reason why is because most therapists aren't really confident in the results they're getting. So they'll send you on your way, maybe flick you a business card, fingers crossed, and if I don't hear from them, I'll add them to my success rate. Ask them if you're going to follow up. This is your hard-earned money and time. You could be investing several $100s into doing this. You at least want to make sure they're going to care about your result. So ask about the follow-up. Number 4, ask, what post-session support tools are you going to give me to help make sure I don't relapse? Now, again, there's no guarantee that you won't relapse because here's the truth of every quit smoking aid. Their aim is to simply help you quit. No quit smoking aid in the world is going to keep you a non-smoker. That's about your lifestyle, your journey, you staying on the path of a non-smoker. And there's many things in life and emotions and situations and boredom and alcohol and stress, anxiety, bad news. There's a bunch of things that could cause you to relapse in the future. So ask them, do you give me anything to help me manage stress, anxiety, overwhelm, situations? Make sure they give you a lot of support tools, not just, oh yeah, well, you'll have my number and that's it. Because the support tools are going to help make sure that this quit attempt you're going to do is permanent, not just for a short time. You know, you may have quit for a while and something got you unstuck. You want to make sure that you're going to invest your time and money into a program and a process that's going to help it be less likely that you'll ever start again. Number 5, ask them, are you a specialist or a generalist? Now, one way you can find this out is just by asking them, do you do other things other than smoking? Willing to bet 99 times out of 100, they'll say, oh yes, absolutely. I can help you with weight loss, anxiety and phobias and eating addiction and alcohol and all that kind of thing. And that's great. Hypnosis can be very powerful for those things. However, if you're going to quit smoking, wouldn't you rather someone that just specializes in this? The difference I say to people is it's like the difference between your GP and the person your GP will write you a referral to go and see when they know that a particular thing is outside the scope of their expertise and they're going to send you to a specialist. I'm that kind of hypnotherapist. When it comes to hypnosis, all I do is smoking. So you want to ask that person, do you just specialize in this one thing? And that's why for 14 years now, I've seen over 4,000 smokers because I specialize in this. You're probably going to want to have a specialist in this, not just a generalist, right? Number 6, the success rate. Now, it's not enough to just ask them, what's your success rate? You need to go one step further and ask them, how do you calculate your success rate? It's one thing for them to say it's 99% or 95%. You've got to ask them, how do you get to that number? Like, how do you know that's the success? Because 9 times out of 10, that's just the number. When they say 95%, that's just the number of people who have walked out their door and they never heard back from again because they don't follow up, right? So you want to make sure that the therapist is invested in your result, not just do the magic in the room. So ask about that success rate and how they've calculated it. I've got a very precise answer for how I determine the success of my hypnosis. Get in touch with me and I'll let you know what that is. Number 7, the final thing you really need to know is about the guarantee. Now, there's no guarantee that anyone will quit, but you got to ask what they mean by that guarantee. Now, what it typically means, as it does in my program anyway, is that I can guarantee the only thing I have 100% control over, and that is the ability to see you again for a second session if you ever were to relapse in the future. And a lot of hypnotherapists are offering that, but ask, is there an expiry date on that? Because a lot of hypnotherapists, and I've heard this in the past, will give you that session within a certain time frame of your first, within 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And after that, well, you've got to pay again. Make sure it's a lifetime second backup session. I've had people contact me 9, 10 years after their first session and something happened and they've relapsed. No problem, come back in. It's already in your program. So these are the things you want to make sure are in place before you invest your time and money. Because here's the thing, if you have found someone that ticks all those 7 boxes, then you know what? It shouldn't even matter what they charge. Because sometimes the first question that I get from people is, how much is it? But here's the thing, if none of those boxes are ticked with a hypnotherapist, then what difference does it make if it's cheap? You know, if it's $100 or $200 or $300 for a session, but you're just going to walk out and start again because you haven't found someone that has ticked all those boxes, then it was just a waste of money. You may as well have just thrown that in the gutter. Whereas if all those boxes are ticked, then you can be pretty sure that you're seeing someone who is more likely going to get you the result. And then it shouldn't even really matter how much it is, you know, because you're as confident as you're ever going to be that you've found someone that can actually help you quit. Now, and here's the thing, look, it's worth mentioning. Maybe a one-off session and none of these boxes can actually work for some people, but that process is likely to only work for a very small number of people. You want to find a process that is more likely going to work for you and as many people as possible. So I hope that has helped you. If you want to know more about my process, please get in touch with me. I'd love to have a chat with you. Good luck on your journey, and it's worth it. Take care. This is Nick from Quit with Nick.